Average nightly rates for short-term rentals in Payson and Rim Country held nearly steady at approximately $226, but listing supply increased while occupancy and average annual revenue declined. So what does that mean for buyers, sellers, current hosts, and people planning a Rim Country visit?
Welcome to the Payson and Rim Country short-term rental market update. I'm Dennis Riccio with Payson Arizona Real Estate. In this report, I'll explain what the latest AirDNA numbers show, what they do not show, and why property-specific analysis matters more than a regional average.
Before looking at the numbers, it is important to understand what AirDNA means by Payson. This market is not limited to the incorporated town of Payson. AirDNA's boundary covers a broad portion of Rim Country, including areas around Pine and Strawberry, Christopher Creek, Forest Lakes, Young, and Roosevelt. These figures should therefore be viewed as regional Rim Country market indicators, not town limit results for Payson or performance estimates for any individual community. AirDNA data through June 2026 shows 636 active listings in its Payson market. Average annual gross revenue was approximately $35,730. The average occupancy rate was 47%, and the average daily rate was approximately $226. These are broad market averages. Gross revenue is not profit, and none of these figures should be treated as an automatic income projection for a particular property. The most important story is the relationship between supply and utilization. Active listings increased 2.8% over the past year. The average daily rate increased only 0.3%, meaning nightly pricing was essentially unchanged. At the same time, RevPAR declined 1%, average annual revenue declined 3.9%, and occupancy declined 4.1%. In other words, the market is not experiencing broad price cutting. Instead, more available properties are competing for a softer level of booking activity. That does not mean every property is declining. It means location, condition, amenities, availability, management, and operating strategy have become increasingly important. Rim Country also remains a highly seasonal market. An annual occupancy rate of 47% does not mean bookings are evenly distributed throughout the year. June and July have generally been the strongest occupancy months, while January and February have been among the weakest. March also tends to produce a noticeable shoulder season increase. AirDNA reports an average booking lead time of approximately 40 days and an average stay of about 3 days. Hosts should therefore plan pricing and availability around seasonal demand. Guests seeking popular summer weekends, holiday dates, or a particular type of property should generally begin looking at least a month ahead.
For a buyer, the $35,730 regional average should never be inserted directly into a financial projection. Two similar-looking homes can produce very different results because of things like location, bedroom count, guest capacity, views, parking, pet policies, owner use periods, reviews, and management quality. A responsible evaluation requires property-specific revenue assumptions and a realistic accounting of expenses.
Buyers should also investigate HOA or deed restrictions, insurance limitations, lender requirements, taxes, permits, and local operating rules before relying on short-term rental use. For an existing rental, request booking statements, expense records, inventories, management agreements, and information about future reservations. Sellers should organize those records carefully and explain block dates or owner use periods so historical occupancy is not misunderstood. Past performance can be useful, but it should never be presented as a guarantee of future income. For current hosts, operational consistency matters. AirDNA's guest insights emphasize outdoor decks and patios, pet-friendly features, fire pits, stocked kitchens, and comfortable furnishings. Common complaints include cleanliness, noise, unreliable Wi-Fi, missing supplies, and confusion about property features. About 54% of listings are marketed through multiple booking channels, and approximately 63% use a 2-night minimum stay. Those practices provide useful context, but they are not necessarily the best strategy for every property. Property size also matters, but market averages can be misleading. 3-bedroom rentals represent approximately 33% of the market, followed by 2-bedroom rentals at 29% and 1-bedroom rentals at 20%. Larger properties generally report higher gross revenue, but they also require greater investment in acquisition, furnishing, utilities, cleaning, maintenance, and management. The 6+ bedroom average is especially dramatic, but that is a small and volatile segment. A handful of unusual properties can move the average substantially.
The bottom line is that Rim Country remains an established short-term rental destination with stable nightly pricing and pronounced summer demand. The market is not collapsing, but it has become more competitive. Supply is higher, while occupancy and average annual revenue are slightly lower. Regional data can explain market direction, but buying, selling, or operating decisions should always be based on the individual property. If you are considering buying or selling a Payson or Rim Country property, or would like help evaluating a particular home, I'd be happy to speak with you. I'm Dennis Riccio with Payson Arizona Real Estate. You can reach me by phone or visit PaysonArizonaRealEstate.com.